What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, back with some more boxing. So it's not every day that we have two editions of Ego's Fighting Words back to back. My last video, I was talking about the whole altercation, exchange of words with Deontay Wilder, James Toney, and Mike Tyson. Check out that video. And there's another one that happened today. So back to back action in terms of the gossip and the boxing scenes and communities and stuff. So Canelo has issued on his social media that he's already sent a letter and a fight deal to Erislandy Lara. He said he wants to fight July 12th at the MGM, same venue that he fought Angulo, and he said he's back July 12th. They said one of the potential candidates for that fight was Erislandy Lara, and basically they said they're just waiting to see if he'll sign and accept the deal and stop running his mouth and just accept the offer and fight him. My thoughts, y'all already know what I think. I'm an advocate for the fight. It's a good fight. It's a fight that needed to happen years ago. Both fighters have looked good in recent memory, minus Canelo's performance against Floyd Mayweather, where he just didn't show up. Erislandy Lara had some trouble with Angulo, who Canelo seemed to dominate. But then the same could be said for the other mutual opponent. I would say Erislandy Lara took apart Austin Trout better than Canelo did. So very intriguing fight at 154. There's another fight that I would really want to see. It was a fight that was supposed to happen years ago. That's James Kirkland versus Saul Canelo Alvarez. But James Kirkland may be moving up to 160 and possibly fighting a Curtis Stevens or somebody up there. So if that's the case, then I'm definitely okay with this fight, because this is a fight, again, that's been brewing for some time in the background, and it's a fight that needs to happen. So I'm all for it. Let me just break down some aspects of this. One, I don't know how this would happen on July 12th at the MGM, because to my knowledge, Erislandy Lara is going to be fighting Ishe Smith on May 2nd, right before the Mayweather-Maidana card, the day before it on Friday. So I don't see how he's going to really be ready for Canelo by July 12th, which is allegedly the date that Canelo is saying. And Canelo just seems like, since he brings that star power, this is the date he wants. So I really don't know if that's enough time to deal with Ishe Smith and win that fight, if he does win it, get past him, and then come back to fight Canelo July 2nd or July 12th. That just seems like a bit much. So I don't even know if this is realistic or kind of for publicity. Other thing I don't understand is Erislandy Lara, after Canelo's victory against Alfredo Angulo, which he had a great performance. Some people bitched and complained about the stoppage, but Canelo's not the ref. He did what he did, and he was beating up on Angulo, and there was no signs that Angulo was turning the tides or the momentum has shifted to Angulo's way. So fuck it, get over it, stop crying. But the thing I don't understand about some of the diehard Canelo fans, or just the fans, I'm reading comments like, "Oh, let's see if Erislandy Lara fakes being injured to get out of the fight," and you're acting like Lara is ducking Canelo when Canelo has been called out by Lara for years. Like, this was even before Lara fought Vanes Matarosen. He was fighting like lesser opponents than that, and he was still calling out Canelo, and there's tons of videos about it. And then on top of the Angulo performance, Canelo looked good in the Angulo performance. This motherfucker hopped on stage like they're in a freestyle battle or something, and he was right behind him and said his piece afterwards. So I don't get, maybe some of you guys don't watch boxing that much, but I don't understand why Lara called out Canelo for years and didn't get his way and get the fight. And then the first sign of Canelo stating that he wants to fight, you guys are like acting like Canelo's the savior and like Lara's ducking him. I mean, I don't know. Lara called out fucking Gennady Golovkin. I don't see Canelo calling out Triple G. And when you're just talking about these two, Lara called out Canelo and has been calling him out and basically saying he's overrated and he'll beat him, etc., etc. So I don't get why some of the fans are making it as if Lara is going to go hiding now when this is what he wanted and this is what he was summoning and calling out for years, literally years. So I don't really get that. One thing I can think of is possibly some of the diehard radical Canelo fans, just like all major fighters have that radical fan group. Maybe you guys only watch Canelo. Maybe everything he says is valid to you, or maybe you're biased. I don't know. But Laura has been calling out Canelo. And the first word of Canelo saying anything, you guys act like Laura's ducking him, which makes no fucking sense at all. Um, the other thing that I don't really understand is some of those same fans, when Laura hopped on stage initially, and I did a video, so some of those comments are probably still on that video. I mean, I didn't delete them, so unless you all deleted them, they should still be on the video and other people's video regarding that incident. So Laura hopped on stage, and you guys were praising Canelo for basically brushing Laura off, like, get back in line, wait your turn, I call the shots, and this is not how you ask for a fight. And some of you guys were leaving comments like, yeah, get him, Nello, get him, Cinnamon. And you were happy that he was disregarding Laura's claim for a fight. Laura is a fighter. Of course he wants the big money fight. If there's someone that is being like revered as the truth in his division and he's calling them out, he just wants a fair shot. He wants to take that. He wants what Canelo has, and there's no shame in that. Canelo is a bigger star in terms of star power, but this is boxing. Miguel Cotto's a bigger star than Sergio Martinez. That don't mean he's going to beat Martinez. Same thing with Canelo. That's a good fight to me. It's a 50-50 fight in my opinion. They both have strong attributes and they both have weaknesses. So you can mix it any way, but I never understood why some of the fans were actually happy that Canelo was dismissing someone who's calling him out in his division, knowing if Laura had just beat Austin Trout and Canelo hopped on stage and was like, yo, Laura, I want to fight you, make it happen, send the contract, y'all would have been juiced, just like you were juiced when Robert Guerrero was in my neck of the woods in Oakland for the Chad Dawson-Andre Ward fight, and him and Broner got into that altercation, and Guerrero was like, fight me, then fight me, no pussy catch weights, just fight me. And then Broner was like, send the contract. Y'all was juiced when that happened. But when Laura hopped on stage and tried to put on for the cameras and proclaim his willingness to fight Canelo in front of Canelo's fans and after a Canelo victory, and Canelo was dismissive, some of you guys supported that and praised that. Don't really get that, especially since it's a fight that needs to be happening. And again, it's been brewing for some time, so I don't see why you wouldn't want to see it. If Canelo's your man, if Erislandy Lara's your man, it's a good fight. So if you're a boxing fan, why wouldn't you want to see it? And I'm so glad Carlos Molina is in jail. Now that sounds kind of fucked up. I'm not glad he's in jail, but I'm glad that Golden Boy doesn't have Carlos Molina to use as a scapegoat, because I really think that they wanted to throw Carlos Molina in there with Canelo even before the Angulo fight. I think before Angulo was selected, they wanted Carlos Molina. Even after a Mayweather loss, they wanted to put Canelo right back into a title shot, but they got some poor feedback from that decision, and then I think they went a different route and went with Angulo. But then, even after he beat Angulo, I think they wanted to put Canelo in there with Carlos Molina. Like, okay, you fought someone else, now get him back in a title shot. Because Canelo is a cash cow. He makes money, he's a rock star, he's a good fighter, and they want to get that income. They want to have him fill up an arena, and they want to get him back winning and get him a title, a trinket, or whatever. And I'm so glad that Carlos Molina doesn't look like he's available because he's dealing with his legal matters, possible deportation, and all that to the point. I'm not glad for his situation. That's unfortunate. I don't know all the details, but I'm saying I'm glad that Golden Boy can't use that as a fallback plan and have Canelo not fight some of the guys that he should be fighting. Because Carlos Molina, truth be told, he's a solid fighter, very crafty, very slippery, hard to deal with, hard to look good against. I have nothing but respect for Carlos Molina's fight game. However, Laura's been calling out Canelo for years. And I wasn't truthfully even that impressed with how Carlos Molina got the title from Ishe Smith. That was a boring fucking fight on the Mayweather Canelo undercard. I was literally doing dishes and chores because I was like, fuck, let me do these dishes before Lucas Matisse, Danny Garcia comes on. So I wasn't even impressed with how Carlos Molina got the title, let alone do I want to see Canelo and Carlos Molina and see him defend the title against Carlos Molina, or Carlos Molina defend it against Canelo. I just not really a fan. I'd rather see Kirkland or Erislandy Lara, and I think both those fighters are deserving. They've done a lot of good things at 154. Some people aren't going to agree with it. They're going to be like, oh, Erislandy Lara had a draw with Carlos Molina, blah, blah, blah. But boxing is a sport of what have you done for me lately. And Erislandy Lara has done a lot at 154. Whether he won or if it wasn't as convincing to you or whatever, he's done a lot. He's fought Paul Williams. He got in there with Carlos Molina and had a draw, whether you agree with it or not. He got in there with Vanes Matarosen. I think Matarosen was undefeated at the time. He's beat the C-level guys. He also fought Austin Trout and beat him more convincingly. Canelo, again, beat Angulo more convincingly than Erislandy Lara did. Erislandy Lara fought Angulo. This is a fight that needs to happen. Floyd Mayweather's not a permanent resident at 54. Austin Trout took back-to-back losses. Who else do you want to see him? The only other person that comes to mind is Demetrius Andrade, and I believe he's with Top Rank, so who knows what the fuck's up with that fight. And he's still a newbie, like in terms of not experience. He has a lot of experience. However, he just hasn't really broke on to the forefront of boxing and proved that he's the best at 154. And I'm not down his skill because I really like Andrade a lot. So let me know what you guys think. Erislandy Lara and Canelo. Canelo responds. I don't know how this fight will happen by July 12th. Let me know if you think it's feasible. Who do you pick in that fight? Stylistically, very good matchup. Canelo probably has more power than him, but I would say Lara is a very smart, crafty fighter. He's a southpaw. He has experience, and Canelo is a good boxer puncher. I would wonder how he's gonna look against someone who's trickier. Like Angulo is just in front of you, and Canelo was able to beat him up to the point where even when it seemed like he fatigued in the later rounds, he was able to use a minimal amount of energy and just throw a couple combos, conserve his energy. You're not going to be able to fight at that pace with Lara because Lara's a good mover. He has good lateral movement, not no running bullshit and all that y'all be talking about. But he has good lateral movement. He knows the sweet science. He comes from the Cuban school of boxing. And he has a good work rate and a good steady pace. And he's a southpaw. So he might be raining lefts all night. And I want to see how Canelo deals with that. Canelo's a good fighter, very solid. It's a 50-50 fight. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.